All right, welcome to Living a Healthy, Vibrant Lifestyle podcast. I'm your host, Harold Chatman. At the current moment, we're not taking any sponsors, but if you wish to support me, visit our website at hvlworld.net. We have the best flavor of collagen. We have unflavored peach mango and strawberry lemonade, the newest flavor. If you struggle with skin hydration, if you struggle with skin elasticity, or if you need a new supplement routine, check us out. And at the current moment, we're at the Panoramic Brand Studio, best podcast studio in Houston. All right, we have a special guest with us. He's the owner of JetQuest. Helped his former company reach over $1 million in sales, over $500,000 in total sales. Welcome, Jonathan Lewis.
What's going on, man? Long time no see.
I know, man. I feel like I haven't actually seen you physically since we graduated, pretty much.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've been in contact with you on social media, like texting you different things, like how you been doing your thing. I don't know, man. You've been pretty consistent as an entrepreneur myself, trying to get there like I do, man.
Yeah.
We're just building and scaling.
100%, man. No, I feel like I've always had the same mission. So I mean, if you've known me as long as you have, or somebody who's known me like since high school, you would probably say like, "Dang, you just been working on the same things." You know, I feel like at my first, I always had the same end goals. Kinda, I was like, I'm going to make a lot of money and create generational wealth. I'm going to end up helping a lot of people. I'm going to travel the world and see a lot of things. Like those three things were always kind of that, right? But I was like, basketball was going to be the tool I used to do it at first.
Right.
And then like once I was done hooping, it was more so, okay, like business. And so that's when I transitioned into, the company I worked for was like a contractor with at first, and built them up and trying to just gain wealth through that. And, made a lot of money, had a lot of fun with that company, made them a lot more money. But just realized what I could do for myself and how they, weren't doing certain things that I thought was the best way they could do it. Mm-hmm. And so, just flipping the page, and here we are with JetQuest 3 years later into the business. And the sky is looking real big. The sky is not even the limit right now. So
okay. So we're going to take a little step back. I'm going to tell you how me and Jonathan met. So me and Jonathan met at Abilene Christian University. We took a social studies class together, I think it was.
That's the class? What? I didn't remember that.
I know. He probably don't remember because he was always asleep. So a little I can tell you about Jonathan. I probably have an old picture if I look in my Google archives. But like Jonathan used to come in there a little late. Not all the time, but he would come in there late and and his ass is going to fall asleep. When I mean like sleep. Knocked out. I don't know if he just woke up out of bed, stayed up all night, but
especially social studies, because that's like super easy for me. I was gonna pass that without having to stay awake. That was my time to rest before practice.
Yeah,
and that's what that was.
And that's how we connected through like class, and then we started getting to know each other. And then the funny thing is, it wasn't too many blacks at Abilene, so we all like stuck.
That wasn't the funny thing.
That
was not the funny thing.
So we all like stuck together. Mm-hmm. And so we all knew everybody like played sports, and pretty much
it was only so many black people at ACU that didn't play sports. So you knew who all they were. I was telling somebody, I was like, man, you was almost forced to deal with, white women and just every other race because there was no black women at ACU. Like I remember like literally telling my mom, she was like, why you don't have no black girl? I was like, Mom, there's literally 3 black girls that I'm attracted to at the whole school.
That's it.
One of them lives off campus. One of them got a boyfriend already. And one of them only likes white dudes.
Yeah, so that's it.
I'm kind of out of luck over there. But yeah, ACU, it was a culture shock.
Yeah, it was. Because people don't realize like most of the kids there, it's a Christian university. They've been going to academy schools their whole life.
I didn't realize that until really getting there. Yeah,
me either. Once I started to realize that, oh man, these people like really been sheltered.
Man, what?
But that's a whole other story.
Yeah, that was crazy to me. I mean, some of them coming out like just ready to get married their sophomore year.
Oh man.
Yeah, that would. I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was normal for them. Like very.
Yeah, but yeah, Jonathan, like. So before you started JetQuest, like what were you doing before you got into like JetQuest?
Yeah, so I was a part of a travel club based out of Dallas that had at their height we're doing $2 billion in sales.
Oh boy.
And I learned a lot in that company. I'm not even gonna say their name right now, but I learned a lot. I, did millions of dollars in sales for that company. I recruited and built a huge team out of the company. I put together, huge trips for that company. And I learned a lot. I had a lot of mentors from that company. I took probably my first 25 experiences out the country happened in that company. So it was just something where I look back at it as a whole net positive. I don't take nothing negative from it. The company ended up going bankrupt. And so I always had the mindset that I was going to take the money that I made out of that company and then start investing into my own thing, whether it be real estate, different platform, whatever. Like, I always looked at it as a tool. It was like never part of my like identity or this is the end all be all. Everything I look at as a tool to get what your end result is, because the true security in any situation is in you and how much you build yourself up. Like, that's what I always tell people. There's no such thing as job security. It's like, how valuable are you to the job? If you valuable, then they can't replace you easily. Same thing with a company or your company. So your company only grows or is as valuable as you can add to it. So I just saw it as a tool, and it did what it needed to do for the time being, and it's put me in a better position to accomplish what I'm working on accomplishing right now.
Right. Is that how you like develop your passion for traveling and hospitality?
Yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, I think I always had a desire to do that, but that was when I was introduced to it.
Right.
So getting to that company, it was really one of the best travel products in the world. I was introduced to that industry, so I did a lot of research and traveling and studying, and all that stuff just expands your brain. But yeah, like once you start traveling, bro, it's hard to go back to the same way of thinking, of wanting to live. Like, you see people, like, imagine going from like a volunteer trip in Guatemala and seeing, the way they live, but the happiness they live with, and the lack they have, but the fact that they don't focus on that. They focus on like, we have each other and the food here, and we have a place to sleep, kind of. And it's not a nice place to sleep. Like, they're basically outside with a tin roof. But then you go to Dubai, like seeing those extreme different situations is it's a eye-opening thing. Most people don't get that. There's a lot of people I grew up with that still really haven't left Texas. You know what I'm saying? So and I think overall, for not just humans, but in particular people of color, we need to see how the world reacts to us out of the country. Right. We got to see how, women treat us in different countries. We need to see how the world views us, and we just got to experience these different things, like going to Africa so we can learn some of that history too. And not just like, we don't know our history, but like for real, we grow up in such a closed environment here, and a closed and really, it's like a put together mindset for us to adapt in this country. So you got to get outside of that to realize, damn, a lot of this that I've believed as my reality is propaganda. It was a created paradigm by somebody other than me, or actual reality. It's not facts.
Right.
So when you get out and go see, now I remember it was like a surreal moment. I went to Egypt, and we're in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings. It's like a valley in which city was this? Not Hurghada, but Luxor. So it's a valley in Luxor with about 40 or more pharaohs where they're buried. You see black paintings of black pharaohs and figures all throughout this 100-foot deep cave. So it's one thing to see it in a book and to hear rappers be like, yeah, we come from kings and queens, but to like be in a 2,000, 3,000-year-old tomb with a black picture, and you like, oh, it's for real. Right. Like, it's here. Like, it's here. So, yeah, it's just perspective. Traveling opens your mind to a certain way. Like, you can't go back. Yeah,
it's almost like when a person go off in the military and you expect them to come back the same mindset.
Oh, no. No. PTSD, for sure.
Yeah. But that's definitely, anytime like you go outside of your environment for anything, like outside of Texas, outside the country, or even just outside your parameter, you're going to see things different. It's going to make your mind look at things, because the thing is, we all brought up the way our parents raised us. So that's like our core.
Right.
But we start branching off from that when you start expanding outside of that realm, like I would call it. So like when I worked in, like I started Fitness Connection, and then I was able to work at a country club. And
two different experiences.
Yes. And then when I started working at the country club, I was around pretty much a lot of whites.
Yeah.
And like it was kind of like being at ECU all over again. I was
just about to say that.
All over again. When I mean like they was looking at me funny there, so it took me a while to adapt and to understand the language. And
did you have the braids or the afro at this point?
I had a mohawk.
He was always doing the most. With
Oh
the
yeah,
hair.
oh yeah. I'm gonna keep my image regardless of where I go, man. I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna adapt. Right. And so once I start to adapt and connect with these people there and just understanding like the conversation, that brightened my horizon up. I went to their homes over there, off of Cypresswood, $1 million homes, and they invited me for dinner. Some of them invited me to their cabin in Galveston. Had a few of them invited me to a trip with them I didn't take. But they, stuff was happening so fast. It was like I didn't feel like 100% comfortable. But I always go to the house for dinner and stuff like that, and go on a little trip.
You can take a free meal. You got a little hesitant at that free trip offer.
Hey, I was like, you know,
you just watch Get Out.
Yeah, I don't know. but it just opened my horizon, my mindset, and then also what I was doing, and also what can be accomplished, and how some of these businessmen and also women to start their own business and what they have accomplished, and like, dang. Right. And also like in the wealth gap, and also how like I was working at a country club at the golf course, how they like closing deals out there. I was out there listening, talking about this, talking about that. I'm like, how much? I was like, 500 mil. I was like, they're talking to this guy. The next thing you know, the owner of McLaren, that owned the McLaren up there on 45, he was up there. And then I was able to see the guy from Perry Steakhouse, owner of Perry Steakhouse. I'm like, much money in one place. And then I'm meeting these people. They're just regular people. But most people think like they're different because they don't have access to them.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing I'm learning because we're about to transition into like a fundraising round for JetQuest, and we're entering that VC startup world. It's all about relationships. I mean, and I already knew that, but you see it. Like I said, it's a lot of things that you already know, but you don't know them until you experience them. Oh, yeah. Like right now, if you guys are watching this and y'all are in tech or business or entrepreneurship or just want to be around it, and you're in Houston, you need to start going to the Ion Houston. It's the most like important resource in the city of Houston for all of those things I just mentioned. But I'm there 3 to 5 days out the week, every week, while I'm here in Houston, and I'm meeting, venture capital people, fundraisers, startup lawyers, web developers, potential co-founders, content creators, financial people, people in science, people in other parts of tech, like literally just the whole innovative community in Houston is all at this place all the time. So, that network, like you said, it just depends on your niche. You need to find out where the highest level people in your industry are at. And for me, that's where they're at right now in Houston. The next level up is being consistently in like a San Francisco, Silicon Valley type of area, and back and forth between there, Austin and Houston. But people don't know Houston is about to have a really major upswing for the next few years as far as venture capital goes. I think we were like #1 in up and coming venture capital cities. Like, I don't quote me on this, but I was at an event at the Ion and the dude said there was about $22 billion spent. Was it 22 or 82? See, I'm already messing up. It was a large number of billions that was spent on startups just last year here in Houston that you wouldn't have known. Like, if you're not in the startup community, you wouldn't know. But it just goes to show there's money out there to be invested into your company if you know how to get in front of the right people and communicate your vision correctly. Right. And that's all it is for me. Like, I already have created a viable product with JetQuest. We've already created something that makes sense. Customers love it. The branding is real. Now we just have to show investors how this can scale and explain this to them logically with numbers and facts, right? And then once we can do that, boom, they want to invest in things because we all understand how inflation works. Mm-hmm. You just saving your money, you're losing your money. So that's why wealthy people are constantly, they have stocks and bonds, and they have real estate, and they have these investments, tech investments, venture capital investments, private equity investments, all these different things they can invest in, but it's to keep their money working for itself and for them. So
as we transition, so what is it like when on the back end with you, like putting together these trips, like the excursions?
It's like hell. It's like hell. Nah, it's fun, man. It's creative. It's a creative process for sure, because you have to really understand sociology and psychology. Like, you have to understand how people think. You got to understand how bringing a certain group of people into this area, how to maneuver the itinerary to keep the flow going, so there's not a lot of idle time for, just anything extra to happen. But yeah, it takes repetitions. I think, one, having already been a part of a travel company for 5 years before starting my own, obviously I had a lot of experience. I built a team of over 500 people within that company, salespeople, and trained and managed those guys. And so my skill set as far as managing people and understanding how people react, how people make excuses, what they make excuses for, what a person's body language looks like when they're making excuses or lying or telling the truth or doing their hardest, what language people use when they're doing this, and that, and how to motivate people the best. And then the same thing when it comes to putting together a trip, like what is a little bit too much as far as the itinerary when you're talking about excursions, when you're talking about, squeezing things together too tight or giving people too much free time. Like, just, you have to know. And it takes a lot, so it takes repetition. So, anybody who would want to do this, you just have to, you got to put in your time. I mean, it's like the 10,000 hour rule from that book, The Outliers. Like, I've put in my 10,000 hours, so I it's kind of second nature for me. But now we're at the point where we're duplicating and scaling and creating systems based off what's in my head. How can we make that a system that, like, I don't even have to be alive for it to run? Right. You know what I mean? So
that's pretty cool. So how's the experience, like, going with JetQuest, like, different from booking with an Expedia, or like what makes you guys different from other ones?
Yeah, so JetQuest is a curated experience engine that pretty much we curate the entire travel package. And unlike like an Expedia or Airbnb or like an EF Tours, we create like lifelong memories and relationships, because you're not just booking the accommodations with us, you're getting a full experience. So you're getting that airport pickup, you're getting checked into the hotel or villa. The excursions are already prepaid based off what you already paid. The transportation to the excursion is taken care of. You have a host, you got security, the food is taken care of. You really don't got to think on the trip. Like, it's a package, like one item experience, right? So that's really the difference, and then on top of that, you're networking with a lot of dope, like-minded people. So it's that unique social experience that saves you a lot of time, money, stress on the planning, stress on the, a lot of people don't want to do the stress of the planning, but a lot of people, like, you might not know certain stuff. Like, if you've never been to Dominican Republic, you don't know when you go there, there might be certain things that you'll get pulled over by a cop and he's going to press you for a quick $50 for.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing, but it's just like, it could be a scary thing for a new traveler to get pulled over by the police in a different country, not knowing that it's not really a big deal. He just wants $50 from you.
Right.
So it's just stuff like that we have the experience and the research already done. And it kind of just like, when you have somebody hold your hand, like, even with us, like, we do our research on the people that we work with in different countries. When we did the Egypt trip, that trip would have been very hard without, the guy that we use
Egypt?
as Egypt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that trip would have been very hard without the guy we use as our, connection there. Shout out to Anton, man. Anton Tours on Instagram. Amazing dude. If you ever want to do an individual trip to Egypt, Anton can help you out as well. But Anton's the man. Younger than me, about 28 or something like that. But, like, for one, not speaking Arabic in Egypt is a bad thing. They automatically look at you like a victim or like a sucker. Like, you can, like, we can hustle you, or like, like, they don't respect you as much because you're a tourist.
Right. So they look at you different.
Yeah, 100%. So, and the Egyptians there now don't necessarily look at us like, they might, when they're trying to sell you something, be like, hey, you're my color, you're one of us. Like, but they don't look at you like that for real.
Yeah, they're trying to hustle you.
Yeah, so all it is, and Egypt's a beautiful place, so don't take that wrong. But all it is like having somebody there at the lay of the land who doesn't get overwhelmed and understands everything. Like, okay, even though this might seem intense right now, it's really not. Everybody relax, follow me. Do not talk to this dude over here. He's only here to sell you something. Don't listen to that dude. He's going to try to do this, and that. Follow me, pay attention to what I'm saying. I got everybody. And it's just, it saves so much time, money, inconvenience, possible headache, possible stress, possible everything. So, but that's what we do everywhere in every trip. for the person who doesn't know or the people who do know and just don't want to deal with it, we shield them from the inconvenience of a lot of the things that make travel inconvenient.
Right. So y'all definitely like take care of your clients on there, like from head to toe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about head to toe. That sounds a little.
Well, it's pretty much like
talk to the lawyers about. No, I was kidding.
But it's pretty much when you look at it, like, cause when you go outside the country, if you ain't never been, we don't know. Especially like me, like booking somewhere.
Yeah.
I just know I'm booking the hotel, the excursions, and somebody to pick me up. Everything else, I'm like probably green on.
Yeah, and if you don't, like, that's another thing. Like, if you've never been to a place, how do you know where to book the hotel in the best place? For every place you go to, it's like, okay, I want to go to DR. It's like, well, what experience are you trying to have in DR? Do you want the super stay at the resort and only do resort stuff and excursions experience? Do you want to have more of a like 50-50, like resort area / local area experience, or do you want to be like purely local experience and really be where the locals are at type of deal, but still be safe somewhat?
Right.
It was like different things that you have to know and people that you have to be connected with, experiences that you already have to understand to even like comprehend like how you're gonna do it. So it's not, like I said, rocket science, but it takes experience. And I think the key saying you could say with a lot of things is it's simple, but it's not easy.
I don't think nothing is like too hard, but I would say the hardest thing when it come down to doing anything is just lack of discipline and consistency.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just buckling down and literally having hella repetitions under your belt. That's all it is.
That's why I said the only thing people consistently do, most Americans, is going to work because they need to pay bills.
Yeah, survival mode.
That's it.
Yeah.
But everything else is pretty much a blur and just scroll on social media that you get hooked on.
And I literally was talking to somebody about this yesterday. Most people, they don't realize that. So a lot of people say, well, I got to work on myself to get my business going, or, I'm not there yet. A lot of lack of success is really just based off people's belief. There's a lot of people who are way more talented than they actually give themselves credit to be, or that they think they are. That. I would say I'm probably one of them. I feel like we're all one of them to a certain extent. But a lot of the work they have to do to get to the next level isn't even on like the actual thing that they're doing. A lot of it really is just on them, like getting to the point where they just can believe in them, where they can be confident inward, and then where they can be confident outward, like show you confident. Hey, how you doing? My name is Jonathan. Nice to meet you. Like, so this is why we're here. Boom, boom, boom. Instead of being like, hey, do you guys have any opportunities? Like, that's the energy that the average person comes across. And so it's just like, they're just wanting that. I don't know. Like I said, it's the survival mode thing. When you get somebody in that loop of paying bills, and we were just talking about this yesterday. It's like I was with some Israeli dudes, and we were just different. We were talking about the different perspectives of cultures, and like, okay, you have the average American middle class mindset is successful is going to college, having a car, having a house, and a job. But literally, there's no actual freedom in that. So it's like, were we given a definition of success by society that's not really what equals to what most people would say is happiness? I would say most people would acquaint happiness with like having the ability to do what they want with who they want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's happiness.
Right. That for me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I would say, yeah, like I want to be able to make decisions I want to make when I want to make them with who I want to make them. Right. So that definition they created for us, that everybody is literally in the funnel headed towards, whether they realize it or not, doesn't really lead to that. You know what I'm saying? So especially with the way banks are working. So he was like, yeah, like in our household, he was like, a lot of our families, like it's not a big thing for us to rush out of the house as soon as we're like 18. He's like, my dad, he took care of my rent a couple of times, while I was building my business. And that was like normal. He never shunned me for like made me feel crazy for that. I was like, I can only imagine asking my mom for rent money while building my businesses. Like it was like she would look at me in the craziest of ways. You know what I mean? So, but that's the cultural difference.
Right.
That's not just black cultural difference, it's an American cultural difference. It's like a shunning. They're like, yo, you're working on this business, you need money. It's like, yeah, the average business doesn't make a profit for like 2 or 3 years. Right. That's the concept. Like those are the facts, actually. So yeah, just rewind to what they were saying. So many cultural differences, and like working together. Another thing, he mentioned to me like, okay, well, I don't remember if he said Pakistani. I'm just gonna say a Middle Eastern group of people. They don't have credit in their country. Mm-hmm. So instead of building credit and focusing on that, they got 30 families that will come together and they'll all pull out $1,000 each. And then one family gets that directed to them each month. So whenever one person needs the $30K to put the down payment for their house, they have it based off that system. Right. And I'm like, as simple as it is, like to me, it sounds crazy because it's just like, it's crazy at how simple and smart it is, but it's crazy that like, it feels crazy. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that really make sense? It does. Yeah, like it's crazy to me that that's a wild concept to us because it's literally like 1 + 1 = 2. It's like, okay, if we just got 30 families, like we could all get our house in the next 30 months, like all 30 of us, and we wouldn't have to build no credit. We don't owe anybody now. We don't have to pay no mortgage. We just take care of our monthly fees after that. And we had enough money to do that. We just needed the down payment. That's it. So, yeah, it's a lot of concepts that I took from them. I don't even remember the main part of what we was talking about, but the cultural differences and the cultural mindset, I think overall is like a lack of confidence, and a lack of confidence can also come from being in that survival mode that we exist in so much in America, especially Black Americans, because we've had a lot of ignorance in the wealth creation. We've had a lot of ignorance as far as what to do when we do get money, even those of us who've reached like fame and success through maybe music, entertainment, sports, even the ones who've done it through tech and maybe, you know, medicine and things like that, whatever, law, legal system. But yeah, as a culture, we still haven't upgraded fully our ideologies on like, yo, why don't we come together and do this as a unit like the other Arabic families did to build their houses. You have the Vietnamese people with the nail salons. You got the Indian people with the hotels. You got the Hispanic people with real estate contract and building businesses like that, right? You got all these different cultures who have their main focuses on different industries. And like, what do we do? Is rap and sports, right? That's it. So, like as a whole. Yeah, as a whole, you know. And I mean, when you're given less and you have a lot of a system against you, you know, it's an understanding, but we're past the point of being able to use that as an excuse because we got the same access. You know, as people with a platform now, we got an opportunity to make sure that we're reminding people, go on the internet and learn how to research this stuff. These are the things that you want to research. Like, I didn't know about venture capital but 3 years ago. Now I'm telling everybody, like, yo, a couple of things you need to be focused on is understanding business credit, being able to get money from the government through grants, being able to, if you have a great idea or something you're working on, understand that it's possible that this could be something that could be scaled at a large level and you could possibly get venture capital, which could create generational wealth for your family. Like, don't just limit your idea to what money you think you have access to. That's not how America works. Right. I used to really grow up thinking people in America was getting rich because they were working strictly just off pure sweat equity from $0 to $1 billion, but nobody's actually doing that. No. Like they're being given hundreds of millions to scale and create the infrastructure to get to $1 billion. That's it. Everyone. And to invest. You know what I'm saying? So really your main skill sets have to be obviously being able to get something to the point of being viable, making sense, having some kind of traction, but you being able to sell it. And if you can't sell, learn how to sell. And if you're just not going to learn how to sell, recruit the person that you can bring on as a CEO or a president who can sell your product to the people with the money. And that's pretty much it. It's that simple. And I feel like that's when I gained confidence that like what I'm doing is not just a business that could be a recurring $1 million business. Like this could potentially be a $1 billion business. It really can. You like one thing I noticed, like, cause you know, usually like, just like for you to like start your business, you did the information, or you did the research. No, you had the idea, and then you did the research on everything, like working with your former company. Yeah, the research was done before I even started a new idea because I had 5 years in the game. Yeah, and then next, usually what most people get stuck at is the execution. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So most people always have, get the information. Yeah, 100%. But the thing is, it's like a 1% goes to the execution. Because I know a lot of people that's creative that have some good ideas can do a lot of things on their own on the side, apart from they. You ever have a friend who will call you with an idea all the time and just don't do nothing behind it? What are you doing? I got a good friend, and he's not broke either. He's doing good. He's in real estate. He's consistent with real estate. I'll say that. But this dude, and I love him actually, he's like a very loyal friend. But it's so funny because like every time he'll call me like, yo, I got an idea for you. I just laugh because I know neither me nor him are going to execute this idea. Because it's like, first of all, you already know I'm fully locked in doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not taking my eyes off of this unless you're talking about like something that you've already set in play, and all I got to do is go like,
that's it.
Like I don't need to be
from 1 point A to point B.
Yeah, like if it's anything outside of that, I'm not moving, bro. I'm laser focused right now on something that's gonna change my life. So it just be funny, but he has like everyone like once a month, and he knows who I'm talking about. Shout out to you, bro. But I appreciate that energy because like, yo, you know, a lot of people call you and have bullshit to talk about, you know, like hoes and let's go to the club tonight, and you know, this and that, just sports or gossip, memes. But like at least that's something positive. But like you said, execution is the most important part.
That's it. It's like I say, it doesn't. I was talking to I had a podcast with a guy like about a week ago, and he was saying like, you can watch as many podcasts you want, you can read as many books you want,
it don't matter.
But until you take the knowledge from that book and execute it, that book doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and that's why that's it. Like you don't have to read too many books. You don't have to listen to every podcast. You just find some valuable out there that's going to help you get to the next level and just execute it.
Some reverse engineering is read books on the things that you're already in or doing, because then it's not like you have to start it over. Like right now, I'm already doing the meetings and setting up the pitches and like going through talks with venture capital firms. Like I'm already doing it. So now I'm reading multiple books on, like there's a book. Great book right here. Venture Deals.
Oh wow!
If you are,
you ain't playing.
Yeah. if you reading or learning about venture capital, you need to read this book tonight. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's like 4 or 5 others that I have that are in the same realm of importance. But it's like, I think they said the average, I forget where I got this from, but the average person stops reading books after high school.
That is true.
Like they don't read another book after high school. Another saying I've heard is just reading 5 books on one subject makes you an expert over 95% of people in the world. On just one subject, just 5 books. Because if the average person not even reading one more after high school, they for sure didn't read 5 on one subject.
They sure didn't.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and that's a crazy thing. Like, that's such a simple feat, reading 5 books. But now, knowledge-wise, you have more information than 95% of the world. But if you're already in that field, you're already working it, you're going to naturally put some of that stuff to use because, okay, I got done reading a book. I'm headed to the meeting for the venture capital meeting right now. Or I'm headed to an event to meet with a startup lawyer and this and that. So if you're already in the game, it makes sense. It's a lot easier. But if you're not, you know, just get your discipline up.
Right. I was gonna see. Do you guys have like any merch, anything? What you got?
Yeah, man. I actually brought you a Jet Quest shirt.
Let's
pull it. Yeah, go ahead and
check
pull it out,
out,
man.
Check it out.
So for every location that we go to, for like our first 20 trips that we're doing,
okay, check this out.
We make a graphic tee.
Okay. Is that for every location?
Yep. Tulum,
You got all
Mexico.
I was gonna ask, man, what all the places have y'all been so far?
Right there on the back. So we've been to Egypt, Thailand, Colombia, Dominican Republic. We've been to Tulum. I'm like low key forgetting something. About to hit Dubai. Like we've been a lot of places. Yeah, we're going to Dubai for New Year's. So yeah, man, we've been a good chunk of places. But yeah, so we it's kind of like tour dates. Hold the back up so they can see the locations.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So you can see it's like the tour dates on like a concert graphic tee.
Like a rap artist over there.
You know what I mean? So that's
our
our tour date. So I feel like we'll make these limited edition because once we get to about 20, we probably won't have no space on the back of the shirt. So it'll be like the initial 20 trips of Jet Quest ever, and these will be limited edition things. So you got one of the first few right there, bro.
Man, to hold that one, sell that one on eBay.
I'm gonna have to sign it for you.
Man,
yeah,
get some money off that one.
Right.
But that's cool, man. Like setting up those trips. I'm sure Dubai. So is that fully like already taken care of, like put together?
Yeah.
Man. So the question I have for you: how long does it take in advance, like setting up these trips, like for like next year? Do you start like 2 years in advance, a year in advance, or like how? Like.
I mean, it depends on the trip. It depends which resort company we're working with. So I'm not gonna name names, but and for all the new travel people who want to start a travel company, I'm giving you some good game. Yeah, can we get some more water? Can we get some Douce? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man,
I'm just kidding.
Get lit up in here, boy.
Right. No, so like let's say I'm working with a company that there's a chain hotel resort company, right?
Right.
And they have resorts in different countries. So if I've already worked with them, usually their marketing or group travel team is over multiple locations in those different countries, especially if it's like a Caribbean or South American. Excuse me. So I'll reach back out to them and say, hey, we want to do a similar trip just in Jamaica this time.
Right.
And so they'll set it up the same way. So a lot of those details on just the hotel side, I don't really got to worry about. It's taken care of.
Right.
It's taken care of already. Appreciate it. So same thing. And then we just go and get the other intangible excursions, because the most important part, obviously, is where they're going to stay. That's the first thing we get to. After that, you're looking at, okay, what are we doing? Transportation to the excursions. Is the food taken care of at the resort already? Is this an all-inclusive? Is it not an all-inclusive? Are we staying at a villa? Are we staying at a mansion? You know, is there a chef necessary? Is there security necessary? So it's just really having a system. I'm not going to go into the system because that's proprietary. Right. But we have that system where all those most important things are handled as organized and systematically as possible, and that's kind of where we're going into now with the tech. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that for now.
Like, how do you like, based off like everything you're doing with the business? Like, I know you're super locked in and focused. I'm sure you're putting like over like 10, 12 plus hours in. So how do you manage your time, make sure you don't burn out?
Man,
that's a good question, ain't it?
Because I don't know if I don't burn out. I think I do burn out. I will literally have burnout, and it's not a burnout. It'll just be a point where like I do work to complete exhaustion. I mean, I work out 1 or 2 times a day. I'm usually drinking a gallon of water a day. I read a minimum of 20 pages every day. And, you know, all of that's not on a perfect schedule, but I will force myself to do those things. Like, there's some nights when I like have to do an all-nighter because my brain wasn't there functionally during the day. So all I could do was like, I could manage the meetings, because like I naturally will be able to have a meeting and communicate, but I might not have been most effective sitting down in front of the laptop to get those things done. So I take a nap from like 8 to 10, wake back up and do an all-nighter, and then I'll just start my day at 10 the next day type of deal. So it's not perfect. I will say you do have to be obsessed and a little crazy.
That is true.
Because like nothing I'm saying is like a really...
Makes sense to most people.
Yeah, like there's nothing... You could talk to 100 millionaires or billionaires, and like they will all give you different setups for how they reach their success. The overall common sense thing that they did was literally cut off all other options. They had no plan B. They didn't make excuses. They worked at a level that most people would think is crazy. They went through millions of failures at the point where the average person would quit. They took on embarrassment, ridicule, people telling them shit wasn't going to work. And they literally just kept pushing and had like the clearest vision in their head of it's of course going to work. Y'all are just crazy. I'm not crazy. Yeah, it's like the Noah's Ark mentality. Like literally, like God told me to do this. I'm not saying God told me to do this, but literally that's the mindset. It's like that much surety, as if God himself literally told me to do this. It's like 50 Cent, I'm get rich or die trying. This is going to happen, or something really bad, or not even bad, but just I won't be here. I'm going to either be here and it's going to happen, or I'm not going to be here.
Right.
And it's like that much surety. So, you know, the plan, how it happened, how they did it, I don't think is really as important as the why and the mindset. But the mindset is the same with all of them.
Well, I always tell people like I may not know too much about like your industry, but you didn't put like over 1,000 hours in there. So obviously you know something that's
10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
10,000. Get you right there. 10,000. 10,000 hours in there that obviously I haven't put in, but you know a lot of that I don't know. So I wouldn't say people are insane when they think about it, but when they didn't put that many hours and they didn't slowly been achieving success through it, obviously they're doing something that the average person don't know, and obviously something is working.
Yeah, and then like when you put that many hours into something, you have like a second sense of how it works. Like you know, right now you've been a trainer since pretty much we got out of college. So there's certain things with certain body types of people that you'll know, like, you just need to work that out like this. Like, you're probably not drinking enough water, are you? Like, you can just pinpoint things based off looks, like
even conversation,
you know, like how they talk about how much they work out. It's like, man, you really aren't working out as much as you say you are you? Okay, no, I can tell by your body language, you're bullshitting me. So like, even in basketball, like, second nature and muscle memory on certain things. Like, you know, in basketball, when somebody is running at you a certain way, whether they're going to set a screen or not, or, you know, what type of players go under a screen on defense and go over a screen. Like, it's just things that you're like, how did he know that? But the other basketball players around will be like, well, of course that's what he did, because we've all put in those hours, and it's just like, we see that.
Muscle memory. You
know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with this. Like, I've done it so much. There's certain things like, how do you keep people from having an argument? It's just like, I just don't allow them. Like, it's just with the way we create the flow of it is like, first of all, the type of people who are coming on our trips just aren't those type of people. But the flow of everything just goes so smooth that, like, we don't give idle time that is not functional. Like, the time of relaxation, it was functionally put there for them to relax. Like, they want to go chill and be just by the pool and have drinks. They want to really maybe go take a nap or go eat. Like, they're not, like, you know, we're not on a bus relaxing. We're either on a bus to the thing. We have a literal functional relaxation time set up. And people also can do whatever they want too. Like, people don't have to follow the itinerary, but it's so convenient. I mean, we barely have people who don't. But yeah,
well, people like being around other people, because you got to think about it. We're in the age of isolation. People working from home. People not really going to office.
Shout out to the people who always be like, I don't like people like that. Yeah, this be the main ones.
Be main ones.
I hate those people. I'm just kidding. I don't hate nobody, but those be the people I just be like, all right, man, whatever. There's like negative, weird energy that comes from saying stuff like that, but it's really just a defense mechanism. That's all that is. But people like the people that they like.
Exactly.
And when you get around better people, you might start to realize, like, I've always needed to upgrade my circle.
That's it.
That's a big thing. A lot of people don't realize. They don't want to take accountability. I don't like people. It's like, no, you pick bad fucking people to be around.
Like, basically.
You know what I'm saying?
You surround yourself. When you have around like solid people, you always want to be around those people.
Bro, if you get a great group of people, I mean, like, for me in particular, I really don't talk to or hang on a regular basis around people outside of my direct blood brothers and my business partners and a few other associates. And it's not in a negative way for anybody, but it's just like,
you don't have enough time.
Yeah, it's not enough time. Like, even me and you, like, we're cool, but like, we're working in different things right now. So like, the way I'm locked in on what I'm doing, like, I don't have time to be around anybody on a regular basis that's not literally on my my mission, on my path. So yeah, and it's not even, you know, like I said, you have those people who are on your path with you, and then you have great friends and associates that you can kick it with. But, you know, when you don't take accountability for just picking random people in your life because you're lonely, even when it comes to like friends, relationships, boyfriend and girlfriend, you're just not afraid to hold yourself down for a little bit to learn what you do and don't like, to say no to certain shit, then you just accept anything, and now you talking about how you don't like this and you don't like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
that definitely makes sense, man. Like, putting that together. It's just people just have like shitty friends.
Can I tell a funny story?
Oh man, what you got?
So I have you know, it's like two stories in one, kind of. But yeah, I've talked to girls, I've talked to women, and you know, they'll start, and this is an American woman thing. I actually talked this about my Pakistani friend, and he was just like, yeah, that's a crazy thing. Like, it's so funny when I talk to Arabic people or Muslim people about like funny conversations that I have with American women, Black American women in particular. They're like, it's like me showing you something in Spanish. You're like, what is that? Like, they just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to them why somebody would think like this. It's hilarious to me though, because I get it. But anyway, so talking to a girl, and she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna cook because that's like, you know, girlfriend type shit. I'm like, but okay, women will, and this is a man thing too, this is vice versa, so I don't want to make this just a women thing, but in relationships in America, people will be having sex with each other raw, hanging out, going on multiple dates, but that woman cooking for you is out of the question or something like that. Like she thinks that's doing the most. So I'm like, at what point was the sex doing the most before, you know what I'm saying? Like saying, okay, well, let's wait till marriage or something, you know, and not saying that everybody's doing that or you have to do that, whatever you want to do. But how did cooking get past having sex?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a major cultural difference, and it's a thing where it's like it's a defense mechanism.
It is.
Like whatever you choose to be the thing that is too far for you to go, it's a defense mechanism based off you chose people probably consistently because you were lonely that I'm just gonna pick the same type of person over and over because it's comfortable. Because it's comfortable. That's what I like aesthetically, maybe, and it's comfortable. And so people don't want to take responsibility for like, okay, well, I'm not gonna say F all these people. I'm gonna say I chose wrong. Like I can choose better people in my life. I can make better decisions. I can decide not to have sex and build a relationship longer off of communication, trust, etc. So it's funny. It's funny how stuff like, and it's not just relationships, it's business.
It's just in general.
Yeah, just in general. Take responsibility for how your situation turned out. Don't be angry at the world about it.
Right. As we come to a close, one question I have for you: what does a healthy, vibrant life mean to you?
A healthy, vibrant life is one where you are never comfortable. You are continuously trying to get better. I don't want to be around anybody who's not constantly trying to get better mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally. I don't know if I said health-wise, but yeah, just in every area of their life, having discipline, I feel like is the most freedom. People talk about self-love. I'm going to go get a massage day and this and that and things that, it's a self-care day. I think the best self-love, self-care is having discipline.
It is.
You know, like having discipline allows you the freedom, because if you don't have discipline with your life, with your mind, with your body, with your time, somebody else will implement their system that they created with their discipline on you.
Yep.
And I promise you, it's not for the betterment of your life.
Nope.
It's for the betterment of their life and their vision. And if you get blessed enough to be around people who do have a vision that includes the betterment of your life, like, you need to be grateful and work as hard as you possibly can with those people. But at the same time, if you don't implement your discipline within that, because everybody's not a number one person. You know, everybody's not a Steve Jobs. You know, Steve Jobs probably couldn't have built Apple without his number two guy, Steve Wozniak, or his like assistant. I forget her name, but like without her, that company probably would never made it to what they did, because like he needed her.
Right.
But there's some people got to understand roles, but even within those roles, you have to literally want to become the best person at that possible role on earth every day. So I think if people just stop comparing themselves, be comfortable with who they are and what they want to be, and just realize, hey, if I'm a podcast person, or hey, I got a smoothie shop, or hey, I'm a barber, like, how could I become the most elite barber, human, father, brother that I could possibly be?
Right.
You know, I think that's what that healthy life is. And, you know, within travel, I think that exposes you to a lot more of those things too. So that's why, you know, with JetQuest, one of our biggest missions is to inspire, to educate, and to create those experiences to lead people to a life of more fun, to more fulfillment, to more freedom. And, you know, it takes certain experiences to make you want that.
Right. If
you don't already know how to do it.
All right. Since this podcast is sponsored by the collagen, which flavor would you want to check out today? The strawberry lemonade or the peach mango? What kind of guy are you? Peach mango, strawberry lemonade?
I'm going peach mango.
All right, check it. Yeah. Peach mango.
You get my reaction on camera?
Oh, yeah. Well, I always do this.
Okay.
So this,
that's good marketing right there. This message brought to you by.
Oh, man. But now I created this from scratch, man. I started this journey.
You made this?
Yeah, it's my branded collagen. Yeah,
okay.
This ain't nobody else's.
So you didn't go to no factory and have some other company put this together? You made this?
Oh, well, they did put it together for me, but I came up with the formula, the ingredients.
That's still valid, guys.
Yeah. No, I don't have my own plant, man. I don't see myself doing my own plant, but.
I was like, you was in the kitchen. Your mom caught you in the kitchen, thought you was making crack.
Oh, man. You know, doing some heroin up in there or something, man.
You gotta go to Oregon for that.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
But no, man, I've been taking this. I give it to my daughter.
So this is kid friendly too?
Definitely kid friendly.
So this is something you drink on like when you wake up before the day?
You can drink it, yeah, because usually most people, they take collagen, they put it in their coffee and stuff like that. They put it in their juice, not juice, but they usually put it in their smoothies, tea.
That's solid.
So this college is more made for like on the go. You can drink it for dinner, lunch, instead of just putting it in like your daily morning routine. This is you put in your morning routine, but the others on their day to day.
So this one is for like you said skin elasticity.
Yeah. Skin hydration, skin elasticity, hair, skin and nails. Like I said, you grow your hair out. Most of our classmates, you missing shit in their hair.
Man, hey, we doing good, bro. We both got long hair and good skin.
Oh man, that's why I say like most. I'm sure high school classmates of yours and also people who went to school where they don't have nowhere close to what. And these ain't extensions right here. This is all my hair.
I hope you don't got extensions, bro. I know we living in a different time. People doing different things, man. No judgment.
Hey, man. People putting glue and stuff on there, man, on their hair, patching it up.
Just let it go, man. Just let it. I think.
Let it go.
No, for real. And this is a real thing because as a person who is as busy as I am, a lot of times I contemplate on a daily about cutting my hair because like even on the day, like, and I don't have to deal with this other than going to sleep and putting a do-rag on. But on the days when I do gotta pull my hair out, wash it thoroughly, get ready to go get cut and get braided, I'd be really contemplating just cutting it off and just having like damn near being bald.
Same here.
Because it's like, bro, I see why Tupac went bald, other than the fact that he got shot and like he kind of had to. But like a lot of people go bald for the functionality of it. Like I don't have time for this. You know what I mean? Like I look at Patrick Bet-David's podcast and he talked about how he basically had a one all the way over when he was like really building his business. Mm-hmm. He ain't had no edge up. Like you look at the picture, it was just straight. You know what I'm saying? Like that, just a one all the way around. He wasn't. Damn. He probably was doing it himself in the morning at the crib. Yeah. But it's not. It's you have such a limited amount of decisions that you can make every day.
Yep.
And it's tiresome.
Yep.
Like literal brain capacity at the end of the day be gone. And if you spent half of that on clothes, the fuck you was gonna wear, and the stupidest of things, like how my hair looks. Like people who brush their hair, people who have like the best waves, bro. It's hard for me to think that you have money. Not even being funny, like, because that shit takes a lot of time. Mm-hmm. Like, you spending hours on brushing, like that's a part of your everyday habits. Mm-hmm. Like, are you reading as much as you brushing your hair? Are you working out as much as you brushing your hair? Are you doing, like, so it's just a lot of stuff like that.
What you think about the collagen, man?
No, it's good. It's good. Like, really, this tastes like some type of Gatorade or something like that. Obviously, I'm a peach drinker. Like ever since I seen that movie James and the Giant Peach, like I just always liked peach flavor stuff. So,
all right, we come to the close. Everything's gonna be in the show notes. Jonathan's business, JetQuest, personally how to find him, notes on the business, how to sign up, upcoming tour dates he has. That's why I call it tour dates because it makes it sound real good. Mm-hmm. And just he's a solid guy, man. I've been knowing him since college. He's been the same. We haven't really hung out as much because we both laser focus on what we're doing, and that's it. And
he lives on the complete opposite side of the third largest city in the country than I do. So we in different sides of the city. But no, man, appreciate you having me on here. This is a great podcast. I can't wait to see your 200th episode and see where we both at in about a year and a half, man. It's going to be major. Y'all make sure y'all follow jetquest.net. Look up our next trip. We're going to Dubai for New Year's. 2024 schedule is going to be crazy. And go subscribe on the website, jetquest.net, because the subscriptions will lead you to the wait list for our app that we're dropping in 2024. It's going to be a crazy year. Appreciate all y'all support and wishing everybody nothing but the utmost success, all right?
All right, thank you guys for tuning in. See you on the next one.